Greetings, everyone. Hey, so this was an unplanned live video, but I thought since I'm doing some work right now, getting some orders out, I was thinking, well, might as well just go live and uh, see what happens. Just take any questions and show what I'm doing, and basically just spend a busy Sunday night with you guys. So I really don't have anything planned to talk about, anything really to really show. Oh, except for this, I got one of those 1/18 scale Beast of the Mesozoic um, dinos. I don't remember what I got, but it's like Triceratops or something like that. Anyways, if you like dinos and such, this is a um, very cool action figure to get. It is an action figure, even though it doesn't look like a person. It's very detailed. It's got nice texture everywhere, and it's quite posable. I haven't posed everything yet, and parts are nice and tight, but body does twist and turn. I think the most I've done is just move the head, but it's a very good figure. And what's nice about it, is that it can work with a boss fight figure. All you have to do is just get a saddle, and do something fancy. Other than that, I don't have anything new going. I am still working on the VSS, and I haven't really added lights. I just put some lights there, turn it on so it's not too dark. I've been doing a lot of work with maybe I don't. I guess I should get a what you call it. I should see about getting a laser pointer or something like that. But maybe I'll do it with a flashlight. But that part back there, I've been working with since last night. It's a frame to just hold up the walls. I got two of them, so I've been working on that since last night. Printing mostly the pegs that joined the stuff, and just trying to make sure everything lines up just right. And I just did some more with this joisting stuff right here. Unfortunately, this other beam that I was working on over here didn't fit in properly. The print was a little warped, and so the connecting parts with some pegs didn't want to fit well. It was fitting too tight, and so it's like I was just going to fight it and risk breaking the pegs and things like that. So I thought I'll just go ahead and just reprint it. So I'm reprinting it right now, and it's been going on for 4 hours 45 minutes. So, and I got to do one like this 2 more times to complete the bottom floor, and then I got to do this 2 more times for the top, the ceiling. So a lot of work here on that. And other than that, I was thinking of a few other things. Someone earlier today had posted, a friend of mine, a question about 3D printers, questioning about if the time for working on a printer in terms of maintenance was justified for the amount of time on printing. Because a lot of printers do have high maintenance, where you do have to have high level of hands-on. And so my first response to his post on Facebook was that I really don't feel that there's that much maintenance involved on the amount of printing that I do. I've been printing since 2010, and the amount of maintenance that goes into the machine is very small in terms of minutes compared to the number of days that I do printing. And since I've been doing printing for many years, I can't imagine saying that the number of minutes or number of hours that it took to maintain a printer has turned out to be, let's say, 1 year, versus 10 years of printing. So, it's like different printers have their issues, and in terms of maintenance, I don't find too much issue. So I don't spend a lot of time on maintenance. And the most that I do spend time on maintenance are these machines here. And these are CR10S Pro printers by Creality. And the reason why I do spend time on those in terms of maintenance is that there's a lot of weight on the x-axis bar. And when the machine is off, the stepper motors don't have tension. So you can, with the weight of your hand, you can push down and change the resting height, basically change the alignment. And so, in other words, any bump on the table, vibration, movements, and the X bar, can work its way down. So when that happens, then I have to go in and spend like anywhere from 40 minutes to an hour, sometimes a little more, trying to get the leveling just right. It's not an easy machine, or at least I don't find it as an easy machine to level. It's not like a small little bitty mini printer or a MakerBot printer or some of the other ones that I have, where it does auto leveling, or it does a level where you just put a piece of paper, for example, tighten some screws, and that's it. The leveling does change, and usually it's like when you have to change the filament, all the mechanics for changing the filament is right there on the X bar, the X-axis, this part right here. So that means your hand is, putting pressure to press a lever, push filament through. So there's a lot of weight that's going on, and that can change the alignment. So everything changed when I got an add-on feature for like $15. I got this belt, and this one's with rubber band right now, but essentially this belt connected to the worm gears that's behind here, and it keeps the Z-axis in sync. So when one side turns, the other side turns also. So it keeps it in sync and keeps the thing calibrated. And so far now it's going on like 2 months, and I haven't had to calibrate the machine at all. And I've gone through at least 2 spools of filaments in those 2 months. And so and the thing is printing consistently every time I use it without having to recalibrate. So I'm feeling positive on that. So in other words, in my opinion, a lot of the machines are, especially the less expensive machines, the cheaper you go, the more they will require you to have hands-on. And I have a number of small, inexpensive printers to do small parts. So I have like a small print farm for that. And those printers, they do have parts that wear out. Cheaper material, cheaper stuff. And so when those things wear out, either, for example, the heated build plate, okay, the build plate's supposed to get hot, supposed to get warm to keep the parts on the build plate. And sometimes with poor wiring, the wires flex. So as the build plate goes back and forth, the wire is busy flexing back and forth, back and forth. And so what happens when you have wire that you flex too much, you'll break it. So that's what happens with those printers there. Fortunately, though, the material that I use doesn't truly require a heated build plate. So sometimes with a bit of tape, sometimes a bit of hairspray or some other thing, it provides enough grip and adhesion for the plastic to stay. So in terms of maintenance on that, if I want to have the heated build plate always working, yeah, I would have to watch a YouTube video on how to do it, how to rewire the build plate, and every time it wears out, fix it that way. Or I can just ignore it and continue printing, which is what I've been doing. And then there's going to be other parts that's going to wear out, and other parts have worn out, and I've just either bought something on Amazon to replace it, or I've made a little solution for myself. So on something like that, yeah, there are some maintenance issues, but it's not something that keeps you on the printer every week. It happens like maybe once every 2-3 months. Parts wear out. So in terms of maintenance, those things I'm not too worried about. They don't really take that much time for me for maintaining. The parts that I have to deal with, I get prepared. So every time I buy a new printer of that kind, I print replacement parts beforehand. So when those parts do wear out, I just simply replace them. And in terms of replacing, it's as simple as unscrewing several screws, putting in the new part, that kind of thing. But in the past, I've used other machines, MakerBots, for example, and MakerBots are very good machines, in my opinion. They do have a number of filament jams that I had to do over the years, and but filaments do evolve. So the same filaments that we're using nowadays is not quite the same or the same formula as was used 10 years ago. So with that said, there are some brands of filaments out there that do advertise as jam-free technology. And in my opinion, they really do work. I've been using high-quality filaments for a number of years, and I have not had any jams since using them. Any. So in the past, I would take some simple PLA and put into a MakerBot, for example, and 5 minutes later, after things starts printing, there's a jam, and it would take 15 minutes for me to undo the extruder assembly and then work out the part that broke, put things back. So about 15 minutes, and I will be printing again, and there might be another jam right away. So, but that was back then. Now with the newer filaments that don't have that much of a jam, I don't have jamming issues at all anymore. So, so anyways, it's an interesting question, and it's not an easy question to answer. But I really think when it comes to maintaining the 3D printers, I think it's easier these days than it was in the past. And but there are machines out there. The less expensive machines, the more hands-on you're going to get. Um, but that's just true for about everything, really. So, anyways, with that said, I am working on these bio scanners that's sold on the DioWarriors store. And what I have to do with this, and I'm going to do this in front of the camera, is basically just clip off a lot of these little stringies that is on the pieces. And this is the last string of filament that that is left over as the extruder finishes printing. It moves to the side, and there's a little string that trails. And so what I do with this, I just go through and I just make sure everything looks fine. That if I can trim off any excess, I'll do that here. Some parts have more stringies than others, like this piece here. And you can see there's a bunch of little stringies inside. So I'll clear that up with a little knife or little clippers. I got these model clippers. They're designed to clip the sprues off of models. So I'll just go in and I'll just clear things out. And that's basically, in terms of what I do every day. This is what I do to help get the parts ready for the next stage, which is going to be smoothing the plastics. And once I do that, then they will get boxed up and shipped out. So there's also a number of other things that I'm working on, that I'm cleaning up. Small little displays. I've been getting the other displays ready for the store as well, especially the green acrylic keyboards. Well, it's blurry, but anyway. Oh, by the way, I also got a bunch of like red, orange color. I've been experimenting to do for keyboard displays for the consoles, if anyone is interested in these. So I got more stuff ready. These are ready to go out for shipping. So this is part of someone's order. So this is basically, I don't want to say this is how I spend my nights, but this is, basically how I spend the night. Not every night, but most nights, getting these things cleaned up. I can't see it there, but it's got a little stringy here, So this is all the quality control and things like that. I got more parts coming off the printer. I'm printing right now. Small little pieces for a turret. So I got to clean this up. These pieces will be put into the machine for smoothing. And so I just make sure everything is going to be as clean as possible. So when you guys get the stuff, everything should fit the way they're supposed to fit. Everything should work the way they're supposed to work. Sometimes these stringies string together on parts and they join them. So other than looking at that dinosaur that I showed at the beginning, and this is not really a review video or anything like that. This is just simply watching me, talking to me as I clean and work on the stuff. So I'm not doing like a product review or anything like that. I figure that would be better for a more dedicated video. mostly because I don't know how long or how short this video is going to be. And so if this is like a 3-hour video or something like that, which I don't think it will be, if I do a product review, it'll be buried somewhere inside there. So, I figure just go live and share some quality time with folks. Just talk about whatever. And if you all want to ask questions or just make a comment, I got the comment screen right here, so I should be able to see things. By the way, I'm thinking about redesigning and putting back the generic props. So here's a generic machine that I had on the table, and I've been, I guess it's glued. So I've been looking to redesign these with the newer techniques that I use now and place these on the store. And, it's just background machinery, things you could have, a generator, pump, other things in the background. Because, most of the time, people take photos of their dioramas. The dioramas have a lot of like common elements, a back alley if it's a Marvel type of diorama. If it's a Joe type of diorama, it might be a motor pool, or and if you have a motor pool type scene, then you're going to have someone like Firefly, for example, crawling around, leaving explosives, for sabotage. So anyway, the thing is that if you have a motor pool, well, you're going to need tools, machinery, things to help work with a car, repairs, things like that. Things you find in a mechanic shop. If you do a scene with, for Marvel or DC characters, an alley scene, well, you're going to need other things, like, trash cans, street lights, other things you usually find in an alley or some other urban environment, trees, bushes along the sidewalk, things like that. So I was thinking, lots of times you do need background props. So years ago on DioWarriors, we had a bunch of different kinds of background props. So I was thinking of bringing some of those back, but done where, we're using the newer techniques, taking advantage of the newer printers, and, and just bringing those things back. The nice thing is that a lot of the stuff that I have done in the past, they are interchangeable. So, we used to have, just pipes. Well, if you don't want a pump or something like that, you can just remove the pipe and apply the pipe on something else, going up a wall of a building of some sort. So you have a wall here, you could have some valve there, or have another pipe go up to something else. So, instead of using a straw or PVC piping, something that doesn't really look in scale, you can get something that's designed to be in scale, and interchange them with other props that we do. How would this be? I'm just playing right now, so just kind of wondering how this would look. It's designed to be like this here, but no reason why it can't go up to something else. That might be interesting. So, other things I want to do for the store and stuff is just sell pipe parts, so you can just put them together like oh, do y'all remember like long time ago, like back in the early 80s, there was a toy called a Tinker toy, It was a series of wood sticks, other shapes of wood, and the wood had holes that you can put them in. So basically, you can just make these spindly looking structures where one wood is connecting to another structure all in wood, and you can just make some silly looking thing, and it's just something to keep a kid busy. But they were called Tinker Toys, and so I was thinking, maybe do something where you could just have a bunch of pipes, and pipes can intersect into other machinery, different kinds of machinery, and you can just make your own, Tinker Toy of pipes. So I was thinking about that. So little things like that I'm going to be bringing back into the store. But so anyways, I got several orders I want to get out for tomorrow, several more for Tuesday, and I am trying to get everything done in batches. So these that I'm working on tonight, they'll have to go out for Tuesday because these pieces require another step for suppressing the layer lines. Right now, the prints are very, very smooth, but they're not smooth enough where if you want to paint them, if you spray paint them or use a brush and apply some acrylic paint, the paint will kind of just spread along the print lines, and then instead of just being a nice coat of paint, it'll bleed along the print lines, the layer lines. So what we do is on these types of prints is pass them through a machine that suppresses the layer lines quite a bit, making the parts very, very smooth. Smooth enough that you can paint them, spray paint them, brush paint them, airbrush them, or whatever. And it'll have a nice finish. It won't have like the paint following the canals of the layer lines and bleeding where you don't want them to go. And the only real drawback is that the process can remove details if the process is overdone. So some of the stuff that we have, I have to be very careful about how long I keep the thing in the machine. Because we want to remove the layer lines, but we don't want to remove the details. So other things come to mind too. Have y'all been watching the latest episode of The Mandalorian? I mentioned that because there's been people out there who haven't quite seen the episode yet, the latest one. And so the topic is don't spoil it for everybody by talking about the plot. And already on a few Facebook groups I've been noticing the topic is it's been like 2 days since that episode aired. When is it enough time to start talking about the episode without being considered spoiler? Because some people won't see the episode until the entire series is finished for this. I guess for this season, is that right to say? So they can binge watch all of the episodes together. And meanwhile, other people are watching episode, as the episode airs. so episode by episode. And so right now there's a little bit of friction between those who binge watch and those who haven't seen the episode, and those who have, where people are getting upset about spoilers. So when is a good time to talk about The Mandalorian, the latest episode? Is it 2 days after it aired? Is it next week? So talk about episode 3 when episode 4 airs. Talk about episode 4 when episode 5 airs. What's the threshold? I got some files here. There might be some repetition when I talk about different things. Like, for example, these files, I've used them before. They're these diamond-coated files. And these are really great for doing things with 3D prints. They work very, very well, better than a regular iron file. So if you do add-on customizations for 3D prints, I strongly suggest getting one of these type of files. Fortunately, most of these prints here are pretty good. That's it. Oh, I feel something right here. So yeah, this is basically what I do for every order that goes out. I test and check everything just to make sure everything's going to be okay. What I got to do next with these parts is I'm going to put all of this stuff into here. What I got to do next is prepare the machine with some alcohol, and it will only take about 10 - 15 minutes. And but afterwards, these parts have to sit venting for about 24 hours minimum. The first hour they will be tacky, and after a few hours, if 2 parts touch, they'll stick. After about almost a day, if 2 parts touch and you don't separate them, then let's say, for example, an hour or 2, you come back and they will separate, but they want to pull, and it'll just destroy the pieces. So I got 6 of these biometric scanners printed. I'm going to print some more shortly. But what I'm doing now is I'm printing some. What is it? What do I call it? Gyrocam. One of those cameras in a ball that pivots and swivels all around. So I have these parts that I'm printing right now. I got a bunch of these to do, and they have a bunch of small pieces. So once again, this is what I do. I just go through each piece, even if they feel smooth. I just go with the file just to make sure that everything is actually going to be right. and I'll show you why in just a moment. Eh, it's best that I take care of these pieces now. So, I just go through just so when I put them together, the parts fit in. They're not going to have something that obstructs it. So, well, I know watching someone do some work like this might be the most boring thing around, but it's got to get done. Someone's got to do this. Someone's got to inspect things and see that everything is printing just right. But this is the reason why a lot of times uh, the orders get delayed. Is sometimes we'll get an order that it's huge, and of course it's lots of stuff that we sell. The the parts have many small parts that make the bigger part, and so all of those parts have to get tested and cleaned up and prepared. So it all takes time, and sounded like something fell, but no, nothing fell. Yes, and but it's worth it really, because what we do here in DioWarriors, you really don't find anywhere else, and it's really rewarding when I get to see people post a picture of their stuff, and then I look around and say, "Oh, look, that looks like a DioWarrior stuff." A pivot table, a map table, some sort of console, and it's like, oh, good. So, and we're trying to evolve and make the parts better using better materials, better plastics, such as the smoothing part. This is interesting. Yeah, so such as the smoothing part, where it becomes easier to paint. Yeah. Actually, maybe I should just put this down a bit. You guys get to see what I'm doing. No, maybe I shouldn't hide my face, huh? I definitely need a different camera, or more than one camera. That's what I'll try to do. I'll try to get a second camera, so that way I could have one camera, focused on me, another camera focused down on what I'm doing. So that way the video is a little bit more exciting. So I'm just going through, make sure everything is as smooth as possible, getting it ready for the next stage. And of course, some parts are very small. They hide in my My fingers you can't really see. Okay. Now I got to start another print. So I got to clear out the nice. I got to clear out the what's there right now and start the next file. So okay, got a couple more pieces. So you got some stringy parts. Not too bad. So I'll have to clean that up. So let me just tilt the camera down so you get to see that while I am starting the next print. Uh, I think I do this one next. Okay. Yeah, I don't have that much space on this table to do stuff, so this is it. My work spot right here. Mouse pad. But so all I do is just make sure that the pieces are not going to have any obstruction. It's like this piece here eventually will fit in this piece. So it's going to fit in like this. So it's got to be a tight fit, and so that's all I'm just proofing for, making sure that it's going to fit in that area. Removing these stringy lines. So if I have an order with 100 parts, I got to do it like this, each one of those. Well, that one went flying. Usually I don't work in the Joe room for something like this. I usually go to the den part, sit on the couch, turn on the TV, and usually I just watch something that I'm streaming. Like that's that I'm streaming. I mean, it's one of those cord cutter type things. So I'll watch like Amazon Prime, and I'll watch something there. I've been watching Stargate over again. So Stargate SG-1, Stargate Atlantis, things like that. And I'll just sit there doing this, just taking a knife, taking a clipper or a file, and just going through each piece. So this should all fit. This should fit inside here. Oh, although I see a little something. Yeah, so this will work here. So these two can I'm putting everything into this piece right there. So anyway, I'll do this sitting on the couch usually. I'm just slowly rotating this piece. This is part of a turret. And that's all I do. Okay, So I got this batch of stuff that's going to be ready for the next stage in the process. Hmm. Now I get to see what's coming up next. Let's see. Yeah, got these pegs, and with that, I'm going to begin the next print. Oh, speed. Yeah. Okay, that looks good. Okay. Computer, turn on Mini Select 3.
Okay.
Computer, increase volume. Okay, so yeah, I got the trash right there, so just push everything there. Banners. Leave the banners on a little bit. So okay, what I really need to do next is replace some filament on one of the machines. Ooh. So I go through several spools of filaments a week really, and not too often though. But like for example, this is from one machine here. I have another machine that I need to change coming up probably tomorrow. Uh, Later on in the week, there's going to be another machine that's going to require another spool. So I go through spools quite a bit. Different machines, they do different things. And for example, this one here, well, you can't see it, can you? So let me just move it up. So this printer here is a fresh spool from a couple days ago. So probably by next Saturday, I'll have to replace that spool of filament. You see that there, which is not too bad. It's about an inch in. So I'll put this back. Now I need to change this printer, so I need to increase the heat. So I've got these pieces I'm working on. way more. All this stuff I'm preparing for orders for either tomorrow or Tuesday. And that's just what I can put here right now. I have a small pile, so I don't really have space to put them all. Yes. Oh, gotta increase the heat. Okay, that's gonna take a few minutes. Some of these are very, very clean prints, and I don't have to do anything. Yeah. Yeah, some of these are very clean prints, and I don't have to do anything. Although I'm wondering, can't really see, but see if you can. Well, you can't see it, huh? Maybe right here. There's a little bit of plastic that's going across. I'll have to test it, but I might be able to just use my fingernail to just kind of clip them off. But I may have to use the X-Acto to just go in and make sure that it's clear. Yeah, see, okay, this one's okay. Let me go back to these and double check again. This may not be an issue. I might be over cleaning this. In the design, it does have a piece that goes across for supporting as it prints, but the part is super thin, mostly because the part that it supports is also very thin, so it doesn't need a thick piece for support. But it's also not a very tall piece either. It's like maybe not even a millimeter thick, in terms of the height. It might be like a millimeter, maybe a little bit less than a millimeter high. So, in other words, very thin and very, very short. Putting a part in here, not a plastic part, to move it around might just, break through the piece that's there and by itself, so I may not have to clean anything. So let me just put this in another pile, go through each piece. Yeah. So yeah, I might be over cleaning this part here. Well, this piece, these are for, this is like the turret section for the little pack rat like battlefield drone that we have on DioWarriors. So it's got the tank tracks below this. It's got an armored piece like this on top. And then it's got this turret piece on here, and then the turret structure. So I would have to go through and see the bottom part of the turret, how that will fit If it has an obstruction, I'll go back and I'll clean. If not, I'll just leave it alone. But some of it might need a little bit of cleaning, just so even if I don't remove the entire part that I'm cleaning, putting the little turret ring on the bottom might be enough to destroy the little piece and break it off by itself, you know. So we'll see. This is a raft. If you don't know 3D printer terminology, a raft is a little piece of material that you print your material on, and it has a number of purposes. One of them being if your part has trouble printing on the build plate, you could print the raft that, and most likely the raft will adhere to the build plate better than your part, and then you just print the part right on top. That's one thing a raft can do. Now this part here has an ugly side, but in terms of the assembly, this goes into a piece, so you don't see the ugly side. So 2 of these battlefield drones. So 4 of these parts. And these are regular plastic pieces, so they will not go through the layer line suppression process. But they are printed at a high resolution, so the parts are smooth, especially this way. But you know, you can feel some layer lines, but not so bad. But like I said, these are parts that are not intended to go into the smoothing process. It's a part of a weapon system here. This might look like layer lines on the camera, but it's not. There's actually little bitty lines that it's just very, very fine. And it's like the bottom part here. You can see this in the camera, if the camera will focus on it. It's got some lines here. You know, same thing with these, just that they're so fine that it looks like layer lines, but it's not layer lines. In fact, the layer lines, you can see, it's right there. You can see some on the surface of that. Probably if I twist it for the light to kind of gleam off of it, you might be able to see some layer lines. I don't know, but and these, yeah, these are pretty much clean. The only thing that I have to look for is like little leftovers on the bottom. So with this, I need to print the keyboard parts. I was wondering, you know, I made some, actually two different consoles here, but I made some new keyboard frames. And I was thinking, you know, maybe I can simply they won't fit. But I was thinking maybe I can attach, you know, and have like a new keyboard with acrylic on the old style console thing. But anyway, these are 2 different consoles. This is the older one. This is the newer one. You see the shapes all, you know, different. They're designed to be kind of compatible to what's already out there. I like these, the newer ones, a bit more because they look more sci-fi. Okay, so I really need like a little box. So let me get a little box to put these things away. Excuse me. So these are battlefield drones going out. There's one, two, three, four, five, six, and I got to do the tracks, the armored chassis part. I have I have what you call it? One of the missile pods printed. So let's go get that. This. So I just took it off of the raft. I need to print some more of these, so I'm going to start to print again on that printer. This one took about 2 hours, 30 minutes. So I'll start to print on that again. Now I need to do another here. I need to start this one. Not this. Print. Like this. Okay. So, let me see. I will put this right here for now. I got to. What do I gotta do? Oh, I gotta change filament. Yeah, like that. That. Move. So I'm just changing filament right now. The spool right here. to. Okay, let's see. Okay, excellent. Let's stop. Okay, I will now wait for the extruder to cool down, and then I'll start a new print on that printer. Another piece just finished, and another captain's chair for VSS. I also got two stands for one of these for a chair. I don't know. So, yawning. Oh, sorry about that. It's been a long, crazy day. Oh, here's something to mention. You know what this is? These are articulated parts, points, or whatever. They're basically the articulated stuff for like for figures really. So you can get these as screws, you know, and the way they work is you put them together, and then you have like a ball and socket, and then you just put them into a figure that you're designing or something. And so what I've been doing is taking these and with my caliper putting them into a CAD system. The idea is when I have them done, I'll be able to design something like a robot or something like that, and then just simply buy these things and use them for the articulated points. You know, I can 3D print the robot and then just use these as the joints. So that's what I've been up to on that. Hmm. Mhm. So murder hornets. I still need to do the review on this thing. It's a very nice figure. Uh, so I need to do the review. But this is the one that arrived today. So I'm very interested in adding um, a saddle to this, and it will work pretty good with something like a boss fight studio figure, like one of the orcs or one of the knights. And this is 1/18 scale, and you can do some very nice fantasy type uh, dioramas with this thing. And so this is the latest from Beasts of the Mesozoic, and it's a very nicely done done dino. I like it more than the Raptor that they did previously. Mostly because the Raptor was standing on two legs, requires a stand. This one doesn't. So I'm kind of pleased on that. I guess we could have Storm Shadow face off with it. So you can see. Uh, Standing on the mouse pad might be a little bit hard. So I just like that. Of course, Baby Yoda can solve that. So what's Yoda's name now? That Yoda. Baby Yoda's name, Gru, Grugo or something like that. Go Grugo, Grugo. Floating, floating. Anyway, let's get back to work. Enough of a break. So this one requires a lot more work than the previous ones that that I was working with right now. A lot of stringies in between here. So this, I just do that. So that's how this one's going to be. And the next step would be to clear up the stand. And gotta clean out this piece. And clear out the loose strings. So that's mostly it. A lot of these print very, very clean. It's just that sometimes you get these little stringies from the plastic, and a lot of times it's about what's called retraction, where the plastic is pulled back into the system before the extruder nozzle moves. But sometimes, the plastic will string across as it moves. That's where you get these little stringies from. So this one looks about ready. I don't think I need to do anything with this one. Okay. What I need to do here is got these pegs. Got more pegs. You know what? I don't think I can find right now. I've been looking today for my Boss Fight Studio horse that I got, but I don't seem to find it. I'm not sure where it went. So these pegs are going to go to the VSS that I'm working on. They fit into here. They're very shallow. It's only 5 millimeters long. So the wood part that I'm working with is 3 millimeters. So it'll just stick in and glue to the wood. But I need a bunch of these, a bunch of them. So I'm going to print them. So this is where it goes. Oh, let me take off that banner. So this part's not glued yet. But I'm keeping it on here right now because I'm kind of working on it. But this part here is all ready. So the way these are going to work is, you see, one reason why I have this part like this with all these peg holes is so I can attach things in the future. But I also need a way to attach now to the wood. So the thing is the tricky part is to determine what peg holes I might need in the future so I can leave them blank. So I'm just use Storm Shadow as, so I guess if I were to have a console attached here, it'll probably be attached to this piece or to this piece. I mean, sorry, you can't really see that with camera. So if I were to have a console set up to attach to this, it'll probably be attached to here or to here. So let's say at the bottom. So this peg might be used to attach something for a monitor, because that would be about the height of the figure. Maybe nothing will be really attached here unless there's a monitor or display. The thing is that these things can be used for displays, other items, other machinery, something that comes across, whatever. So I'm thinking maybe what I should do is put the pegs on the outside area. So let's see. One thing, if I need to, I can always design and print a part that will attach to the outer section of the beams. So in other words, even if I have the pegs in my way, I could probably still design something that will clip around the beam for additional attachment. Now, how come this one doesn't want to go in too well, huh? I'm not doing any glue yet. So I just want to see, before I commit with glue, I want to see what will this be. So let's see. Put this here, this here. It could be that it's not aligning properly, but I think it's okay. It looks like it wants to align properly. Yeah, it is tight. Yeah. Maybe I should put some glue now and then force things in. Yeah, it's like it doesn't. So let me go get some glue. Yeah, don't fall. Feel right there. So I got the trash pile right there, trash bin, and it's full of 3D printed stuff that I'm throwing away. So little pieces can get lost easily. Okay, let's see how this will work. I don't have any paper here, huh? No. We don't have any paper. Get glue on my fingers and got it through the fingers again. Here's something. What was that? I heard something fall, but I look and I don't see anything. Okay, so this piece is going to glue. Okay, so I'll put it right here. Let me just see if I can get this piece on the other side. Maybe I'll try from the bottom right now, just as temporary. Yeah, it's like the barely. It really it's like it doesn't want to align, but it's probably just like there's just something just being slightly off. Hmm? Yeah, I put my finger right into the glue. Uh, oh great! Now on my fingernails gluing. Yeah, come on. Now here's some noises. Never practiced this. So let's see. What makes this difficult is that it's got glue all over it. Okay, fine. Okay, so now I'm going to do on the front here. So let me see about putting some glue in this thing. Maybe it'll be better if I just glue the inside first, like this. A little bit around here. So you can see what I'm doing. Hey, it actually works. Uh, really snaps in. Now I want to take off this peg and apply some glue. Okay. So hopefully this is all I need to do here for the moment. And I got to do the same for this side now. These I'm not using the right pegs. I mean, yeah, I'm not using the right pegs for this. So I put these together last night as a temporary thing. I just wanted to see how things would fit. These smaller pegs are newer. I started printing them today. So I guess I can start gluing this now. Rats. What I wanted to do on the other one, and I completely forgot, was to secure the plastic pieces by just putting some glue everywhere. I forgot to. I think it'll hold because there's going to be more stuff being attached to it, and I can try to put some glue to it afterwards. You know, like squeeze in between, that kind of thing. Oh man, so maybe I should have. Uh, oh wow. Be nice to get a customizer on here. Maybe we can get someone like Jose Sola or even Marauder Rubin, you know, to talk about techniques that they do for painting, for gluing. Everyone wants to know what's a good paint to use for figures and things like that. I got my own thoughts on that. I'm not a heavy figure customizer, but I have done, you know, my own customs before. Some of them are, you know, simple. Others are more complicated. But there's always someone who does very, very complicated customs, looking extremely well done with really custom, I say custom, but edited parts, you know, like parts that have been really filed down for movement, parts that have been trimmed. Of course, I gotta put my finger right on the glue part. So, okay, let's try this. I hope I don't regret this. Come on, fine. There it goes. Of course, they have to push out the pegs. So this one piece wants to be very, very stubborn. Wow. It's really fighting. Really resisting. Maybe It's maybe I could put another piece, but underneath to kind of help align. Yeah, this is. It's just a small little piece that's keeping it from. Okay. Okay. Put it from the bottom. Will this one? Will this help? Maybe we could put a file in here to kind of. File's too thin. Oh. I don't have a plier that will reach into there. Okay. I don't have pliers that will reach, but maybe I could just force this one. Unless the glue's already settling in. I guess maybe I can just take it off. I bet you the glue is preventing it from from me forcing it to. Let me try again. Yeah. This time, of course, the glue is drawn out. It's the bottom part of this peg part that is resisting. It's not the peg itself. It's the hole. It's not aligning properly. Maybe with that piece there, maybe it'll be more doable now. Too close to the edge. Come on. It really is stubborn. Stubborn as a mule. Watch, it'll crack the wood. Yeah, get in there. Come on. Maybe I should use a hammer. Bam. Well, that kind of pushed it in. Okay, it's in. Now I'm going to push out the peg on the bottom. I have a feeling because it's so tight to put the pegs in. Either I'll, for the future, like if I'm going to be attaching a console or something to it, I need to make that decision now, as early as possible, so that way I can further secure the pieces by putting more pegs in the remaining holes. I'm thinking if I have trouble later on, I'm just going to trim the pegs a little bit so they will kind of, you know, spear into the hole a little bit better. I wanted to glue this to the floor part, and begin the process of all of that. But with this being so difficult, I'm kind of like thinking I need to make a decision about what is going to be here. What type of props is going to be here. Yeah, cover up the glue. Let's see. Uh, hmm. So I am going to have to glue. Where's my flashlight? Hold on, let me start the next print. Back. Print. How about a watertight door? Uh, Maybe not the time for it, but I'm gonna go ahead and print. Yeah, I have enough time. Print the tracks for one of the battlefield drone pieces. So, anyways, okay. So the next part with the VSS. So I just put this piece on, and on the other side here. So now I'm thinking the bottom part there, I'm going to have to glue that because right here is going to be another piece that's going to attach kind of like in between of those peg holes, and but that's going to attach to the floor, not to the wall. So I'm thinking I'm going to have to glue the wall to the floor part right there, and I'm going to have to do that soon because I got this floor piece for the engine room that's going to extend out, and I'm getting close to being ready with half of the engine room for that. So I am going to have to glue that probably this week down there and right over there too, and and basically get all of this ready for the next step. Well, folks, I think I'm going to stop right now. Maybe in the morning I'll do another video or something because I'm still getting things ready for shipping out, and I'll see how I do. In the morning I'm going to be bagging some stuff, putting them into the shipping boxes. So some of y'all will get an email, and others will get an email on Tuesday. There's some hatches that are going out that I need to just go through the contents and make sure everything is properly in the make sure everything's properly in the bags, and so I'm going to get that one out maybe tomorrow or Tuesday. Um, I really appreciate the understanding on the delays. I've been trying to get things out ASAP. Um, so if this helps, doing something like this helps me to get things out and moving, I'll do more videos like this. And so, anyways, let's see. Okay, no comments. Okay, but that's about it. So I will probably do another video in the morning. So we'll see how things go. And I'm gonna go get something to eat, maybe an apple pie, and everything had an orange look to it. Well, when it was over here, everything had an orange look. It was down here. Maybe it's the RGB lights. Okay, I'm just wondering. Kind of strange on the camera. So okay, it's a good point to go ahead and stop. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. And I'm going to take a break. I still got some more prints going on. I have one of those gyro cam type of pieces. This one that's currently printing is about halfway done. I got 2 more to do. We'll try to do them all tonight. Maybe tomorrow I'll be doing more filing with them on the camera. 2 printers are doing the battlefield drone type stuff. The other printers are just doing different items. And so, excuse me. And of course, this one's almost done. Maybe I'll wait. Yeah, I'll end the video right when that thing gets done. So that way there's progress. Oh man. So in terms of the VSS 002, if y'all been following that, I've been trying to update the blog weekly. There's been a slowdown for the past week as I have shifted gears to finalizing the parts for the engine room. So as I get closer to printing, I go through and I make sure that the parts are going to print, and those are the parts that I want to print, that I need to print. So that way I don't come back later and say, "Oh, I don't actually need this," or "Oh, this one fits okay, but not quite the way it needed to fit, and I have to print it again or redesign something else or something." So, um, anyway, follow the blog if you want more info on that. And I got more stuff going, more stuff coming, new stuff, older stuff being updated for newer techniques, newer stuff. So anyway, and maybe I can use more cameras. By the way, in terms of the DioWarriors shirt, a number of people have been asking, and so I'm going to see about getting some of these shirts run off. Maybe I can talk to Joe Harris and arrange something there, because I know he does very good work, and I would like to keep things within the Joe community and get some large and extra large shirts done. Ooh, well, maybe I can't make it, so I'm going to go ahead and end the video now. I don't know, it's got maybe 10 minutes more. Say 6 hours, 34 minutes it's been printing. It's got a little bit more to go before it's 100%. But I'm yawning like crazy, so I'm thinking I'm just going to go ahead and end the video now, because I'll be here again tomorrow. So, okay, folks, catch y'all later, and have a great night. Thanks for joining.